Eric Adams has dropped out of the New York City mayor's race. Joining me now, the Republican on the ballot, who's here to answer the big question on our mind, which is, will the Yankees go all the way and win the World Series? Curtis Sliwa's in the house. Hey, man.
Oh, it's such a good day. Such a good day. The Mets, who I hate, I loathe, I despise. Gone.
Whoa.
One and done.
Well, listen, I appreciate your enthusiasm on this matter because I was raised in a Yankee house.
Yes, of course.
But I happen to know those two producers in there do not have coffee in those thermoses right now.
Tell them, oofa.
They are.
You had the highest payroll. You had the owner who should have gone to jail for insider trading information.
Whoa, Sliwa.
You got what you deserve.
Oh, listen.
And who did we give you? We gave you Soto. You had Soto, and you still couldn't do it.
Listen, we're going to give you guys equal time when Curtis leaves, because I do believe he has a mayor's race to discuss.
Oh, that's right.
But maybe it's a good sign for the campaign, because Mamdani was at a Met game a week ago. Did Zohran Mamdani curse the Mets?
No, he didn't, because he probably, when asked, would say, oh, I'm a Yankee fan, too. You know, typical politicians, where I keep it real, Jimmy.
I will give you that.
If you're a baseball fan and you happen to have two teams in the same city, like Hillary did, remember
that? Yep.
Oh, I was a Cubs fan, but I used to listen to Yankee games overnight. Hillary, you couldn't listen to Yankee games overnight. You had the White Sox, Comiskey Park. You see, I don't go that route, truly. Look, if you're a Met fan, I respect you if you say I hate the Yankees and vice versa. That's true baseball fan.
Oh, yeah, real. You need that. Curtis Lee was in studio, and I agree with you on that. I do believe what the saddest part for Adams jumping out of the race is, they had offered him a suite to all the Mets playoffs games. And he was like, yeah, that sounds like a good deal. Now
and if the owner gets the casino, part ownership too. Because remember, let's be straight up here. I'm not sitting shiver for Eric Adams. He was doing the soap opera and novella. Remember the great programs? It was The Price is Right. Bob Barker.
Oh, yeah.
The price was never good enough for Eric Adams to drop out until 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon when he did this soap opera effect. Like, I'm doing it for the city. Because of you, there is a Zohran Mamdani. If you would have been a halfway decent mayor, it would have been round two. It would have been the incumbent mayor, Democrat, Eric Adams versus Curtis Sliwa, the Republican, round two.
That would have been the race. But you know, you make a good point about that. Because something we were talking about earlier is the fact that the feds might have to go into AOC's district because it's become such a haven for gangs and prostitution and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
But make no mistake about it, that happened under an Adams mayorship. Okay, he allowed a lot of these things to happen because he was leaning into sanctuary policies and fighting Trump.
Oh, and also under Governor Andy Cuomo, who signed the no loitering bill, which meant you can now loiter for the purposes of taking your clothes off and walking up and down the block and selling your body. You see, he attacks Mandami and said, oh, you're pro-prostitution. First of all, politicians should never talk about prostitution. I mean, if ever there's a definition of prostitution, it's being a politician because you're there for the top bidder.
Yep.
Let's face it.
It's most of what we're watching.
You get wine, dined, and pocket line.
Yep.
And don't you dare, Jimmy, offer me any money to jump out of this race. I'm wired up like a Christmas tree right now. I will report you to any law enforcement agency.
Okay, well, I'll step aside then.
Yes.
Has anyone else offered you anything? The last time we spoke, you said you hadn't heard from the White House. What have they said to you since?
Well, the White House has never communicated with me, so let's exempt the President Donald Trump and any of the people who speak on his behalf.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about the many billionaires in New York City, of which they think they know about the streets. The only thing they know about is Wall Street. Remember back when they were all making love to Andrew Cuomo? Oh, Andrew, we love you. The moment he lost that primary and got crushed by Zohran Mamdani, June 24th, they ran across the street, and all of a sudden they were on the rebound. We love you, Eric. We love you. Yeah. And all the editorial said, drop out, Sliwa, drop out, Sliwa. Remember that, Jimmy?
Putting the pressure on you.
Imagine what a fool I would be now.
Yeah.
Saying I dropped out so that Eric Adams could drop out. And now they're all running back to Cuomo. Don't they ever learn that they have actually helped Zohran Mamdani by giving us all vertigo, by running back and forth and thinking their money is going to pick the next mayor? It's just not.
Okay. Do the billionaires want to pay Sliwa to step aside?
Oh, millions. Jimmy, millions.
Okay.
Oh, Jeeves, the chauffeur.
I am willing to hold it for you while you think about it.
Oh, okay. And accrue the interest?
You can wire it to the Borgata down in Atlantic City. It's a neutral site. Send it down to the casino.
But it has to be reported there. How about the Cayman Islands?
Okay.
Did you ever think of Panama, Switzerland, Dubai? Come on, let's be a little creative here.
Well, you're giving me a sense of how your conversations have gone.
No, actually,
I'm
to be perfectly honest, these are people that I've grown up with that are homosexuals. Okay. I mean, they can see no wrong in Cuomo. Come on, Curtis. You know, you got to do it. I said, look, your guy didn't do it in the primary. He was out in the Hamptons with the Billionaires when he should have been campaigning. So they said, yeah, but Curtis, we want to help you. You want to help me, huh? So you're not going to get votes for me. You're not going to do anything to help me. No. Look, every person has a price. What's your price, Curtis?
Oh, wow.
What's your price?
Yeah.
And then at the end of the conversation, I say, hey, remember, pal, do me a favor, lose my number. Click. I introduce him to Mr. Click. And my wife listened to the last conversation, the seventh one, Nancy. She's an e-attorney, and she said to me, you know, by you even having these conversations with people you grew up with, it seems like you're in collusion with them.
Yeah.
Better to just put it on blast that if you talk to me again, I'm wired up like a Christmas tree. I'm a rat. I eat the Parmesan cheese. I will go to the proper authority. You know, Jimmy, I haven't had a call since.
Yeah, is that true?
They all lost my number.
Wow. Curtis Sliwa.
Oh, it works. When you tell them all, your next conversation, remember, this is a one-party state, New York.
Yeah.
You can tape a conversation, will be on blast, and you may be hearing it on the Jimmy Fallon Network radio show.
Sliwa, going to drop it all over the air.
Why not give it to you first, prime cut?
It's the right thing to do. We're on about 200 stations around the country, and the point I keep trying to make to them is a lot of them don't care who wins the New York City mayor's race, but they have to.
Oh.
Because what's really at stake now are two things. One is obviously if New York fails, at a municipal level, okay, the bill's getting passed on to the taxpayer. But the bigger issue, I think, for people around the country is the Democrats are an unprincipled party right now. They know socialism is bad. But if socialism gets elected, guess what they're going to try to run around the country? Okay, and that's the bigger problem here is everybody in the country will be directly impacted by who wins this race.
Oh, so, Jimmy, you have opened up Pandora's box. We know there are many Republicans out there and Democrats who hate, loathe, despise New York City, and for good reason, oftentimes.
Sometimes we've earned it. Fair.
Very much earned it, especially when they come in. We say, look at these bumpkins looking up at the skyscrapers, right? I ought to pick their pockets. But the point being is, Jimmy, there are Republicans who want this place to burn down. So that Zohran becomes the mayor. They all say, oh, we love Curtis. Everybody loves Curtis like everybody loves Raymond. But we want Zohran to be the mayor because then he becomes the face of the midterm elections. We guarantee that Trump will not be impeached for the 9,852nd time. Our 2-year agenda gets put into full effect. Elise Stefanik becomes the governor next year, which I'm supporting morning, noon, and night to beat Kathy Crime Wave Hochul. But see, it's the 1-2 punch, and I keep reminding him, back in 1993, Rudy Giuliani saved the city by beating David Dinkins. The next year, a guy you couldn't pick out of a lineup, George Pataki, beat the better Cuomo, Mario Cuomo. And we had no chaos, no corruption, crime reduction under Giuliani and Pataki. Why wouldn't you want Curtis Sliwa, Republican mayor, and Elise Stefanik, Republican governor, to get this state back on track? You want to sacrifice New York over my dead body, Jimmy?
Good for you, Curtis. Hell no. This reminds me of the Muppets Take Manhattan. When Kermit's on the top of the ESB, he says, you hear me, New York? The frog is staying. So you're telling me the frog is staying?
The Muppets. Oh, my God.
I mean, it's just a line. Go ahead.
Wait. Much better. At the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, you go in the tomb of John Paul Jones. Remember, he took the American frigate off the coast of England, 1779. We were getting our butts kicked by the Brits, and the British warships surrounded him. And they said, the admiral said, are you prepared to surrender your ship? And the men under John Paul Jones said, we got to surrender. They're going to send us down to Davy Jones's locker. And what did John Paul Jones say?
Surrender.
I have just begun to fight.
Come on.
He not only beat the Brits, he took their warship.
Amen.
And he is the father of the United States Navy. Now, my daddy, Chester, was a merchant seaman for 50 years. He taught me that. Americans don't run. They don't retreat.
Yeah.
They don't surrender. And notice all this fear, fright, and hysteria that it's going to lead to flight. When you show fear to the Zohranistas and Zohran Mamdani, it empowers them. I'm a street warrior. The moment you show fear, the moment you blink, you're dead.
That's it. It's over. So having heard that, we're talking to Curtis Sliwa. I think the White House is going to call you up on the heels of this John Paul Jones discussion, and I think they're going to offer you the head of the Navy. Are you prepared to take it?
Maybe a head of a tugboat. A New York harbor.
I just want to be a tugboat guy.
I hated being out at sea. That's where I departed with my dad. He loved the sea. I hated the sea.
That's it. He doesn't even ride the Staten Island ferry anymore. He's had it. Well, you could ride the ferry. They'd be happy to see you.
I ride the subways, the buses. I ride mass transit every day. None of the other candidates even go near it.
No. Well, the thing about Mamdani, I was telling this to our national audience earlier. So when I was a cab driver, you're doing 12-hour shifts. I was doing 5 to 5s. Okay, so in the very beginning, like my kid was born, I was really picking up like 6 shifts a week. So you're driving 72 hours, 84 if you drive 7 days. And, we were paying like, say, $3,500 for a one-room apartment in 2007. Like, do you have any idea how much it burns my balls that Zohran Mamdani has a rent-controlled apartment? And there are millions of New Yorkers who can't make rent right now and are paying a lot more for it than he is.
This is the difference. Mm-hmm. A lot of people out there don't know who Zohran Mamdani really is. He seems affable. Mm-hmm. He always gives you that sort of Iranian Shia sign there, the 2 fingers at the suit lapel. He's like Sade's song, Smooth Operator. Smooth Operator. But he learned from the best smooth operator of all, Barack Hussein Obama.
Oh.
Was there anybody smoother?
No, he got it done. And he was, I always say, the Buckingham Palace. They wouldn't write bad about the Queen because they didn't want to lose access.
Yes.
No one ever wrote a bad word about Queen Obama because they didn't want to lose access to the palace.
But you better believe that Zohran Mamdani, when nobody knew who he was, including his neighbors a year ago, was watching tape after tape of President Barack Obama, both his candidate and his president, and said, I want to be just like Barack.
Yep.
A smooth operator.
Not good. The Sade of politics. That's
right,
what
I can hear it in my head. Oh, Sade, she was so great. Man, she had a great ride for a while.
But did she ever? But when I think of your time in this city, I go back to Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five and The Message.
The greatest rap song in the history of the genre, right there in the Bronx where I started the Guardian Angels.
Amen. And that's what I think of. And I think that's what the city needs more than anything.
Jimmy, others think of cocaine and how they basically put half of Columbia up their nose at that time.
Yeah, they did.
In the 70s and 80s.
Where the Grandmaster Flash was the precursor for the 86 Mets.
And remember White Lines? Do you remember that?
Don't do it.
Oh, who was that in honor of? Kukina.
Yeah, not good. But here we are in the race. Adam steps aside. Should Cuomo step aside, having lost a primary to this guy already?
Well, he's the expert, Jimmy. Remember, he was the dropout king, having left Albany. Disgraziata, fled, fearing impeachment, and then hid out in the Hamptons with his billionaire friends. So if anybody knows how to drop out, it's certainly Andy Cuomo.
So give me this, because this is a question, I've heard raised a lot.
Yes.
Is that, Cuomo would technically be closer to him, but the reality is people who support you don't support Cuomo.
Oh,
so if you step aside, my one concern is that a lot of your support just doesn't participate in this election.
They would be crushed. First off, I'm the only Republican. I'm the only law and order candidate. Mm-hmm. When people see me, they said, he's been with the families of the 15,000 who died because of the executive order of Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo during the lockdown and pandemic. He's always refused to apologize. By the way, Elise Stefanik hit him with a contempt charge for lying to Congress about that.
Cuomo.
So there are so many people out there who said, I can never vote for Cuomo, or I'm not going to vote for Zohran Mamdani. But if somehow a Mack truck hit Curtis Sliwa, because that's the only way I drop out, I'm a speed bump.
Oh, man.
I couldn't show up to vote. They won't vote for Cuomo. Mm-hmm. They're hardcore Sliwa supporters. Look, Zohranistas are hardcore.
Yeah.
Sliwa supporters are hardcore. Cuomo-sexuals, they come, they go, they wear their Depends. They all got all excited when he used to do those PowerPoint presentations in the middle of the lockdown and pandemic. You used to have an utazza de cafe and would be scared. Oh, Cuomo, we love you. They were 65 plus. They were all excited. Well, guess what? They're not the majority. The majority of the voters are millennials and Gen Zers. I hate to tell you, baby boomers, I'm one of you. You got to wake up. It's a new day, new way, new generation. And Cuomo is not in these areas. Wherever the Gen Zs and millennials are, that Zohranista land, I'm there every day.
Yeah.
I'm fighting to get these millennials and Gen Zers, most of whom are not Zohranistas. They're apathetic and indifferent. Nobody has ever come up to them and asked them for a vote. Certainly not Cuomo, certainly not Adams. So that's where the battle is. 36 days, 36 nights.
Wow. We're
on it.
He did not come here to drop out, ladies and gentlemen. This is, remember Twisted Sister? We're not going to take it. You're not going to take it. They're all coming out today. All the references.
That was one of Trump's classic campaign songs.
I got a 20 in the jukebox. The Beastie Boys said you got to fight for your right to party. You're going to fight for your right to party. You got 36 days of fight left in you.
Hold on. I'm not going to go that far. I'm going to fight for my right to party. The Beastie Boys, right?
All right. So is the well? Listen. I needed to get us off white lines. That was not a good campaign song.
Yeah, but it all came out of that era.
Amen. Curtis Sliwa, the Grandmaster Flash of politics. He's been with this city at least that long, and he doesn't sound like he's going anywhere anytime soon. Godspeed, man.
Yeah, but you didn't offer me a bribe.
No, I got to get these mics off first.
Oh, okay.
We're back.
Thanks,
man.